achieve and what he can do, you know, katika kipindi cha lala salama, as they would say. Do you suppose he would achieve anything much as pertaining to affordable housing so far from what has happened?
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. And I also want to congratulate you, TV47. You are doing a very good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, bringing these untold stories out there.
That's true.
Things like affordable housing. These were things that were not being talked so much, but at least now we have this opportunity.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. We'll start with the question that the president was talking about the health care. And now there is the affordable housing, and it's part of the Big Four agendas. And these Big Four agendas is something that has received a pat in the back, even from our development partners, that is the international community. It is a very good agenda, these Big Four agendas. And we are looking forward actually to continue with the legacy that he has started. And for sure, it is very commendable. The Big Four agenda is a big commend to the president. And this is something, despite of us not having achieved the target that we had, because the target was 500,000 units by the time the Jubilee administration was done. Yeah, for sure, we have not hit the target, and we have a few months. And to be very truthful, it may not be possible to do the 500,000, but it is a good agenda that has been started, and it has been embraced by the international community. For example, now we have the Kenyan Mortgage Refinancing Corporation, KMRC, and this is a structure whereby the World Bank is funding us, or that agenda, Big Four agenda. People are being given money so that they can take up mortgages at only 7%. We know that the interest rates for mortgages in our country have been so exorbitant. Yeah, so the president has started something very commendable, and we have our partners who are supporting us, like the World Bank. There is another partner who is supporting that, giving the people the mortgages. And there are more reforms that have been done, and more needs to be done. For example, we have seen the Lands Ministry. They have tried to digitalize the issuance of titles and such things. Now, we need to continue from what has been started. We are not starting from scratch. Something has been started, which is very commendable. We need to build on that. We need to have more reforms, especially when it comes to the price of land. We also need to, the developers themselves, they need to be appreciated. These are people who are tapping money that is in the diaspora, because people in the diaspora really want to invest back at home. We have structures that are working, that are protecting the people who are ready and willing to remit money back at home. We have means of protecting even the developers, and actually appreciating them, encouraging them, and what have you. So these reforms, which are part of the Big Four agendas, if we continue building on what has already been started by the president, for sure, within no time, we are going to achieve the desire or the dream the government had, and the government has. And this was also coming from the Vision 2030. It was also borrowed from Vision 2030. And we know Vision 2030 with the lab set. And people are supporting all these agendas. So we just need to continue. Continuity is what we are looking at. And at the same time, as we seal loopholes, because also we know our country, the biggest problem is the issue of the cartels, corruption, cutting deals. If we move straight forward with the agenda that we have, and with the plans that we have, for sure we are going to be a middle income earner. That is, which is a dream at the end of the day. You know,
I am glad that you have expounded this to a larger scope, and the fact that you say the world is appreciating. Let's talk Africa a bit, and I am certain that even as you conduct your activities as Mizizi Africa Homes, it's definitely Africa. It's because you seek to go to the continent. You seek to go far in terms of addressing this need. Evidently, there's been even that need for housing, you know, and a majority of people of Africa will tell you that they die for those moments where they could own land and own their home, let alone homes where they would, you know, just rent them out. I have personally, you know, just tried to do my research across on the aspect of industrialization in Africa, and as well as, you know, just understanding the aspect of housing across. I have seen how different nations are trying to adapt ways of dealing with this. In the recent, of course, Zimbabwe trying to, you know, speak of command housing, you know, houses to the people, and mechanisms are set on board to that. But we still are not, you know, achieving these gains. And questions arise as to what is this that we're not getting right. The involvement of government, you know, to the private sector, and the private sector vice versa, you know, towards making this something that is achievable. What is this one thing that you suppose lags us behind, you know, as Africa? The global fraternity is doing well. Go to the superpowers and you see the angles of, you know, housing. Almost everybody owns their own home, their very own. You know, renting is something that is done for those that are doing business and so much more. What is this that lags us behind as Africa?
Thank you very much, and that's a very pertinent issue that you have raised. And the thing that is lagging us behind is that there's at times lack of political goodwill. And again, we have policies and rules. Each and every country has its set rules that governs its people. And you find that when we know African was colonized at some point, and you find, for example, in this part of East Africa, we were colonized by the British. You go to the side of the West Africa, they were colonized by the French, and so on and so forth. So you find, and when the colonizers came, there was that thing called divide and rule, because they subdivided Africa, as we know. And you are to rule there, the other one rule there. So what we need to break away from is those that division, divide and rule. We now need to come together as Africa. Our problems are the same. That is the first thing we need to identify. We are united by one common factor, our problems. Somebody in Zimbabwe, you have mentioned, they have the issue of housing. It's a problem that is not only here in Kenya. It is something that is all over Africa. That is why we as Mizizi Africa Homes Limited, it is our dream and it is our desire that will go even to other parts of Africa, and we are going to give this solution of affordable housing. And what we need first of all is political goodwill. We need our leaders first of all, because at the end of the day they are there to represent us. We need a conducive environment whereby, for example, I'll give an example of like M-Pesa. M-Pesa or Safaricom. We had recently, Safaricom is already in Ethiopia. Ethiopia, they have a population of 100 million people. That is like almost more than 2 times our country. And now there's that, there's a policy they want now to also allow M-Pesa, which is something that also there was that talk. Now M-Pesa will be allowed. So if that continues, and you can bear with me, there was political goodwill, because even the president was there was those talks. So if now they can extend, it is a good progress. Things like Safaricom, Equity, they are going to these other areas. If that continues, and we'll have that Pan-Africanism that had been initiated by our forefathers, now we take it a notch higher, whereby doing business, at the moment we may not be able to adopt a common currency, but which is something that was there. But with time, slowly, political goodwill, we are talking, we are encouraging people to interact, we are encouraging our Kenyan people to go and invest in those other African countries. And it is not only banks. Banks are doing very well, and especially the financial part. As Kenyans, people are borrowing a leaf. Now we want to go the extra mile, even real estate. We want people to borrow a leaf from us as Kenyans, and we as Mizizi Africa Home Limited being at the forefront. And if we do that, we'll be able to penetrate all over, and it will be for the benefit of every mwananchi in their respective countries.
And you know, you speak of the market giants and how they have managed to do this. Well, of course, the giant aspect would accord them, you know, the rights to penetrate. But you know, as well as Mizizi Africa, and the Africa itself speaks volumes as to how you would wish to penetrate the continent. I would want to imagine that there's a base that has been set, you know, there's research that has been conducted to understand how well you can maneuver to these different parts of Africa. The trials have been made, I would want to believe. How difficult has it been, or how easy does it appear for you to penetrate, you know, the different parts of Africa in terms of, you know, setting up another Mizizi, you know, a Mizizi branch, say, in a different country, and now that it's working in Kenya? And have you done any projects outside?
Sure. Yeah. Thank you very much. We as Mizizi Africa Homes Limited, we also are looking at the market leaders, and these are people like Safaricom, Equity, who are doing very well, even in penetrating in other regions, which is very commendable. And that will also make our work easy for us as Mizizi Africa Homes Limited, and for any other company that is growing, is looking to grow into other parts of the country, because already a path has been created, and now we are encouraging not only to have the financial instruments, or let's say such, going to other areas. We also want to move even real estate. Real estate is another money maker, and we know most of our people are in the diaspora, and they went there to look for greener pastures. But we know that east or west, home is the best. And if we have a conducive environment, and the world is becoming a global village, we are actually not only lending something like or selling the rights of something like Equity, not only in Africa. They are going even to other parts of the world, and that is money that should be channeled back at home, because at the end of the day, those people should pay us something. So if we continue from the known, already people like the giants we have talked about, if we can be supported, and now another company, let's say Mizizi Africa Homes Limited, that has the same dream. We do not need to go the same route or to struggle the same way those market leaders that we are proud of went through. Maybe before that time there was so much board meetings, sitting, this president talking with this, bilateral talks, all those things. We do not have to repeat all those. We do not need to call the president, you come accompany Mizizi, and already he accompanied the other. We need just to follow the same route, and it will be much easier for us to penetrate. And if there is that political goodwill, people encouraged, yes, come invest here, because at the end of the day, we are all looking at security. At the end of the day, I do not want to we have saturated the Kenyan market, because that's our plan. Before we go to other areas, we want to saturate our Kenyan market. We want at least to give as many people affordable houses as possible. Once we have done that, we have built a good base. Now we start going to other areas, and Mizizi Africa Homes Limited is a young company, and so far we have penetrated almost five counties in our country, and maybe in our strategic plan, maybe in the next 5 years we want to be in the 47 counties, and now in the 10 years we want to be at least in the East African countries, and then moving forward in maybe 20 years we be all over Africa. So the plans are there, and we want to thank those people who started. We want to continue that political goodwill. Whatever has been started, we do not need to start from where they started. We start at least a few steps ahead. And we make our work easier to penetrate, even in other counties. I would actually encourage, like Mizizi, now we are going into counties. Let us start this narration from narrative from home. We are now in five counties, and we are doing a good job. Now let us even have other counties welcoming us in our home country. Let us embrace the same way we have embraced other companies that started here. Let us Kenyan made, let's say Equity, Safaricom. We can brag. Let's also support like Mizizi Africa Homes Limited, which is doing very well in other counties. If you are a governor, welcome us in your own county, and we have big chunks of land. Maybe you have your people you need to house, and that is a devolved function. Let us ensure that within the shortest time possible. If our plan is 5 years, if we can have political goodwill and we have people who are supporting us, we will be there even in the next 2 years. So that in the next 5 years, we'll be talking of going to other places. And at the end of the day, we are going to remit that money back at home. Even if we are working there, there will be something that is coming back to our country. So at the end of the day, we'll be growing our country. We'll be having employment for our youth, and we'll be growing the economy of Kenya and generally our Kenyan economy.
Joint ventures, and I'm told that this is the future of real estate, the future of housing, in the sense that you realize that as Mizizi Africa, we have this, but we probably do not have the land, and therefore we can work with someone who has, you know, a like mind, and we come up with something. Just how well is this being embraced, and how safe would it be of an affair to say that you can now go to a different country and say meet someone who has the land there, and you want to set up the houses, affordable housing, and you're able to sell it together, enjoy the profits. Just how open is this angle of joint ventures, and how handy would it come at a point where we understand that there are also, you know, massive difficulties that come along with this line?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, joint venture is a good way because you have this, I have this, we assist each other. But there needs to be policies, and there needs to be understandings which are which should be respected. And when you are talking about now the government coming up with policies that can open up, more policies that can open up affordable housing, we need to have either a regulation here in the country, or we can have an MOU, which is an MOU which is recognized by law, such that if we get into an MOU between you, let's say you, Linda, and myself, you have land, I have maybe means of construction, and we have another third party who is now our financier, because at the end of the day, a joint venture, you must look at all those three aspects. There must be the person who has the land, the person who will do the groundwork, and you have the person who will finance. All those things, they have to work, there must be an agreement. This is what you are supposed to do. This is what you should do. If you do not do, there are consequences, and it is respected, because you find something like a joint venture, it fails because out of these three people, you have land. I do construction, maybe as we do as Mizizi Africa Homes Limited. Our co-work, we are a contractor, a certified contractor. We contract, and now we have, now let's say the customer or the investor, we are investing, either they stay homeowners, or they're investing so that they can resell and get some money. Then we split the profit. And so everybody has a role. If it is the financial, you find most of the time, and that is the biggest problem, even in our housing, and especially our off-plan and housing basically. You have gotten a customer, they have done part of their work, they have given you the resources. Your work was to construct. You had identified a land which either you had bought, or maybe you had gone as a joint venture, and you find at some point one party wants to shortchange the other. You get that shortchanging of the other party. That is where the joint venture fails, because we are three people. We all have a common goal. You have land, isn't it? That land, when it is sitting idle, it is not of any benefit to you.
True.
I am doing construction. If I'm constructing, I do not have resources, it is not helping me. And this is an investor who has money that is lying idle, and they would like that money to generate an extra coin. So all of us, if we come together, we bring that synergy together, all of us are going to benefit. But you find that, let's say it is the land seller, we are in a joint venture, we should share this and this. The moment maybe you get that money, before you didn't have anything. I've given you some part of the money. Let's say it's a good money, let's say talking of millions. Now you feel, no, you have shortchanged me. This land is not worth this much. So it's either you had me more money, or we go to court or something, because now you feel empowered. And me, maybe I'm the constructor, I feel you have given me this money, and also I need to construct my own. Why do I construct to benefit?
Quality goes down.
You not actually about quality. You divert that money to your own personal project. You see? So what does that leave the other two? They are hanging. And now the investor, at the end of the day, the investor is the one who actually is at loss. And again, if it is everybody will be at loss. If one is shortchanged, so you need to have those MOUs, understanding, which are recognized by law. You have entered into this and this, you have understood, you have gone through, everybody understands. Even if you find that sometimes maybe the landowner, they didn't have the information. You find that some people, they have land, they are not educated, and somebody comes and gives them at a throwaway price. Then later on, they have used a bit of that money. They feel they were shortchanged. So we need everybody to be covered. Okay. The landowner, they need to be given their money, which is duly as per the value of that land, without being conned because they are maybe not learned. The contractor needs to do their job, or the developer. And the investor also need to get their return. So if those things are worked in such a manner, which is very well laid out, and everybody has their part and they play their part, and if you don't play your part, there are consequences, joint venture will be actually a very big game changer, not only here in Kenya, but even in other parts of Africa. Yeah.
All right, well put. Now, with the years, technology is cropping up by the day. And while we still embrace and appreciate the role that contractors or constructors actually play in the world of housing, we are seeing, the coming in of the likes of precast concrete, which is something that as well is being embraced. How will it destabilize the market, especially for people like you who are in this particular sector, or how well will it even strengthen it for us to be guaranteed affordable housing? Sure. Because if we're thinking of, a house that can be fixed somewhere in China and it's brought back home and it's, joined and together we set up a structure, then where does it leave those ones that, work on this towards constructing and having such arrangements for people to own houses?
Thank you very much. When we talk of affordable housing, we are talking of having a house that is done at the lowest quality cost, but high quality, best quality. So you are balancing between quality and cost. So if the precast slabs or the technological materials can come in and assist in reducing a cost of this affordable housing, but again the standard is standard is guaranteed. It's a win, and actually this information should be in the public domain. We need to know these precasts. We can get them from ABCD, and they have been checked. Let's say maybe KEBS has seen their quality is good. Yes, maybe we may be importing them from wherever, and then we have seen it is of high quality. It does not compromise health, because you may find it has a health implication. Maybe it has been used. The construction of those maybe things, the material used, are they friendly? Are they good? So if those things have been checked and they are brought, and actually we are given and we are told this is how they work. Like for example, even as Mizizi Africa Homes Limited, we are always looking for ways on how we can reduce our costs, because it is very crucial. And if we can get materials we can use and reduce on cost, because at the end of the day we are looking at the end user, who is the homeowner or somebody who is getting that house. Is it good? Does it protect them from any harm? So at the end of the day, if the consumer is protected and it's cost effective, the better for us. We need to have this information. We need to be involved as developers, as constructors, maybe by the government. This is something that we have researched. It is good. It is going for this much. You find that the biggest problem is dissemination of information. Dissemination of information is another big problem that we have here in our country. And that's why I started by congratulating TV47. We are bringing the untold stories, the good things that are happening, the good digital market. The good things, they are mostly put under waters, because at the end of the day somebody will benefit, because these are cards somebody will hide. They will be giving one so that they can also benefit. But if this information is disseminated and we know we are invited, here there is a seminar, these are materials that are the latest, these are what has been done in another country and it is working, can we also do it here? If that can be done, it is a big welcome. Yeah, and it will actually boost us a lot.
I personally learned so much, and I think by the day I'm learning, and so I vividly can understand, you know, my plan for, you know, dream house, and as well as, you know, where to start from, which is always a very important thing. I have seen my parents or close people, you know, setting up structures, but you know, just because they lack this information, they are misinformed. Those ones that are greedy for money are taking them round. Before you know it, you have set up a structure, but you know, in 2-3 years you'll have to see it down. No value for money, you know, no quality, no anything, and simply because they probably have not had access to proper information. And so, as you know, we also come to a close. Very important that we also understand, as Mizizi Africa Homes, what have you on board as of today? Probably it's a different affair from what you had last year. There are options, there are projects that are on session. I mean, how then, as a client, do I come in to get, you know, value for money, but most importantly, you know, get something that is affordable for me to be guaranteed of owning a home?
Thank you very much. At the moment, we have a new project that is in Kwale County. That is a project that I guess the last time that was here we had not started, and that one we are doing holiday homes. And we have identified that once somebody gets a home, you become secure. You're not paying rent. You know, the biggest pressure we have is paying rent.
Yes.
Once you're not paying rent, you also have the opportunity of doing more and even thinking beyond. So we do not want only to give people homes. It is our core business to give our people affordable homes. And now we have seen, once we have given these people an affordable home, now they are now actually comfortable. Now they are looking at the extra mile, getting an extra source of income. And the people we know, they like going for holidays, at least going and unwinding and such. So we have a project in Kwale County at Diani, a very lucrative place, a very nice place, very untapped and very nice. We have a project there called Kijani Kibichi, and again we are giving at a very affordable price. Very affordable, only 4.95 million. You have a 3-bedroom villa. There we are calling, they are called villas.
Villas, yes.
And that villa you can either be living there, or when you are not there, you are letting it out, like Airbnb. You know, Airbnb is something that is coming to destabilize actually the way the real estate operates, or even the hotels, and even the letting out of houses. You come, you find a furnished apartment, a furnished house, you stay there for a month or for a few days, you pay something small, you cook for yourself, and so on and so forth. So that's the first project that we have started, Kijani Kibichi. And we have also gone to Machakos County. Machakos County, we have a project at KBC, Mala, around there, that we are selling at only 3.95 million if you pay in cash. And also that's a very nice place. And we are continuing with Kenyatta Road, Juja. That one we had already started. We have projects there. And we have another project that is coming in Kitengela. Kitengela, that is another county. We had not been there. So more things are in store from Mizizi Africa Homes Limited. And what we are looking at is giving affordable but quality. When you are talking of affordable, we are talking of cost effective and at the same time high quality. All
right. Well, thank you so much, George, for speaking to us this morning. We still are saying it's open, and there's still so much information that needs to go out there to the public, so that when they're making, you know, because this is a lifetime decision, let it be informed, let it be made based on, you know, proper understanding, based on, you know, consultation of the experts. And, you know, at that particular point, then we avoid occurrences where someone gets to regret after putting so much money. And we always, you know, when you're talking about housing, you're thinking millions. There's no way it can go below that. So it's always good to get it right from the word go. And even if you've not gotten right, it does not mean it's the end of it. You can always seek the advice of experts, and the experts will advise you on how best, you know, you can at least try to balance the damage. So once again, Mizizi Africa Homes CEO George Boro, thank you for speaking to us. We hope to get a hold of you some other time.
Sure, anytime. And actually you can share our contacts,
please
and
do.
Somebody can visit us.
Please do.
Our contacts, in case you need to call us, is 020-790-2215. That is 020-790-2215. You can give us a call. Our offices are located in Westlands, opposite Sarit Center. You'll find us there. And also you can find us in all our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, name them. Mizizi Africa Homes in all those platforms. Email, you can email us at info info@miziziafricahomes.com. Much welcome. Let us continue with this conversation. And once again, thank you TV47 for the opportunity.
It's always a pleasure. And on this very note, I think it's time that we, go out there, hit the gym, and just have some bit of exercise that would be good for us, and that should be after this break.